So let's talk about karma. For most of us, that word brings up ideas of fate, destiny, something totally out of our control. But what if that's all wrong? Today, we're going to explore a pretty radical idea, that karma isn't a life sentence you have to serve, but a program you can actually rewrite.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Do you see karma as this cosmic punishment system, a bill that always comes due? The material we're digging into today flips that whole idea on its head. It suggests karma is more like an operating system, and you might just have the admin password.
Right. So for centuries, we've been told karma is this ironclad chain of cause and effect, a prison we build for ourselves with every action. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if it's not a prison at all, but a highly complex and highly changeable program? Okay, get ready, because this is the core idea of everything we're talking about. The notion that karma isn't some fixed point in the universe. It's a variable, a setting. And if it's a setting, it can be changed. This completely shifts the dynamic, right? You go from being a passenger to being the pilot. The big question is, how?
Well, the secret, it turns out, isn't out there in the physical world. It's deep within, in the quantum realm that's the foundation of everything. The key is learning how to shift your consciousness, to basically find the back door into the source code of reality where all those karmic patterns are running.
So look at this. In our normal everyday life, our brains are humming along in beta waves. You can think of this as running your computer in safe mode. It works, but it's slow, it's clunky, and it's totally bound by linear time. A leads to B, leads to C. But when you learn to access the theta wave state, it's like booting up in admin mode. You get access to a high-efficiency programming state where you can make changes directly to the system.
And where does this happen? It happens in what's called the quantum vacuum, or the zero-point field. Just try to wrap your head around this. It's a place where time as we know it completely collapses. The past, the present, the future, they aren't on a straight line. They all exist right now simultaneously. And in a field like that, the old rules don't apply, which means instant change is actually possible.
So how do you actually do this? It's basically a three-step process. First, you use practices like deep meditation to shift your brainwaves down from beta into that powerful theta state. Second, you achieve something called a phase lock. You're literally syncing your awareness with that quantum vacuum. And third, you execute what's called non-temporal processing. That's a fancy way of saying you make the change outside of time. So instead of spending years trying to work off bad karma, you can resolve the pattern at its source in an instant.
Now, if that quantum stuff feels a little too out there, don't worry. There's another tool, and it might be even more powerful. It's an ultimate algorithm for change, and it's something you already know. Gratitude. But not gratitude as you've probably thought of it before.
Let's be really clear about this. We are not talking about just being thankful. We're talking about gratitude as a kind of metaphysical technology, a cosmic force that takes a distorted, unbalanced pattern, like a negative karmic loop, and powerfully restores it to its original perfect symmetry. It's like a universal reset button.
So how does this algorithm actually work? Well, step one is you completely redefine your past. Those painful things that happened, they're no longer punishments. They're just data, information, feedback to help you learn. Step two, you observe those events with gratitude, fully accepting them. That's the key. It dissolves the war you've been fighting with your own past. And the result, you neutralize the dissonance. The high frequency of true gratitude just vaporizes that old, heavy karmic energy.
And this is the magic behind why it works so well. Gratitude taps into a fundamental law of the universe called cosmic homeostasis. The universe itself is literally hardwired to reduce chaos and return to a state of balance and harmony. So when you embody gratitude, you're not fighting against the current anymore. You're aligning with the most powerful force there is, making the universe your partner in healing.
But here's where it gets even bigger. This whole process of reprogramming your own karma, it's not just about you. It turns out that your individual transformation has the power to help rewrite the destiny of all of us.
This brings us to the idea of collective karma. It's the understanding that we are all interconnected, all part of a shared web of cause and effect. We share in the world's problems, sure, but that also means we share in the solutions. One person having a breakthrough can literally send a healing ripple across the entire human network.
And it always starts with one. Just one person deciding to shift their consciousness. One person choosing to apply this algorithm of gratitude,
one light turning on in the darkness.
But then, something amazing happens. Once a certain number of people, a critical mass, make that internal shift, the change doesn't just add up, it multiplies. It spreads through the collective consciousness non-locally. It's like a software patch that, once it hits enough users, suddenly gets pushed to the entire system.
So what's the ultimate potential here? Think about the biggest, most stubborn problems humanity faces. War, hunger, division. What if they aren't permanent realities? What if they're just old, toxic programs running on our collective karmic hard drive? And what if, by enough of us changing our own internal code, these massive global programs just lose their power and fade away?
All of this brings us to a powerful and liberating conclusion. It's about more than just clearing up your past. It's about stepping into a brand new identity, a new role in the way your life unfolds.
And maybe this is the biggest shift of all. Realizing that karma was never, ever a cage designed to trap you. It was a mirror, a feedback system the universe was using to gently, or maybe not so gently, remind you of the incredible creative power you've had all along.
You're not just some passive observer getting tossed around by the currents of fate. You are the quantum pilot. You have the controls. You can navigate the past, present, and future, and chart a course toward the reality you truly desire. And so, I want to leave you with this beautiful image. The heavy chains of cause and effect don't just break, they transform into a golden spiral of infinite potential. The shadow of karma is gone, and in its place there's only pure, exhilarating creative freedom. Your freedom.